Okay, so we are
So,
here. The first thing I want to say before anything, it is almost 2 in the morning right now.
yeah, and we have a busy day tomorrow too.
Oh
So,
yeah, we're doing some traveling tomorrow. Both of
yeah,
us have some traveling to do.
good old fashioned road trip,
Yeah, Christmas, happenings.
fun
And
times.
the Duffer Brothers, as we've mentioned, have decided to, take over the
Be a
holidays.
bunch of trolls.
And like we literally have less than a week before the final episode, and I was like, everything's so busy, but we got to talk about these episodes. Like it's a whole thing. So like this one's going to be a little bit more, a little bit more quiet, a little more chill
Quiet. It's 2
perhaps.
a.m.
It's 2 in the
As
morning.
expedited as possible because
Yeah,
there's a
but
lot to do.
there's a lot
So,
to cover and there's a lot to do, but nonetheless, we're here to talk about these episodes. So the first thing I want to do,
Mhm.
right out of the gate, is
Yeah,
here. I want to
tally up the
hear.
bets. No.
Yes. Okay. That wasn't even where I was going, but we should definitely do that. So if you don't know, if you haven't been keeping up with our videos, we have had a series of bets going on for
Mhm.
season 5.
I
One of which, first of all, I want to give you your flowers. You
Yeah,
said
my
that
one and
Max
only.
Max was going to be out of her coma, or you said she was going to be awake by episode 8 at
Awake
the very
and
least,
conscious
awake and
before
conscious.
episode 8.
Yeah, and they had her up and not walking, but they had her up before episodes, or start of episode 7. So like, I'll give it to you there. That's a
Mhm.
dollar for you. I,
Let's
on
go.
the other
That
hand,
it was only a dollar?
it was only a dollar.
Why
I
wasn't
on
that
the
one like
other,
5 or
I
something?
don't know.
Oh my
I, on the
gosh.
other hand, you said, I don't even remember when this was. Wait, actually, I have them written
I
down.
need to watch back the video we said this in because I don't even
Uh,
why would I think that?
in our video a while back, probably over a year, maybe over a year ago. I can't really remember. I think it was over a year
Nah.
ago
A
because it was about the
year?
the episode titles, which was revealed a while back.
Holy.
You bet $20 that Steve was the shock jock, and he was nowhere near that side of the story. So that is $20 for me.
Yeah,
Um,
insert screenshot of me sending you, well,
yeah,
$19 because
yeah, pay up.
you owe me one.
Yeah, wait, let me send you $1 right now. Let's see. All right. It's happening in real time, guys. $1 has been sent. All right. So there we go. We'll set up one final bet later on. It'd be kind of funny if we don't do it in this video because we're gonna have a lot to talk about. We should do the one and only community post being like, all right, guys, before the finale, this is what is going on. But anyways,
Mhm,
what I want to do is like right away, because
mhm.
I watched the episodes. I've seen the online reaction and everything, and I haven't like like I haven't participated. I've kind of just observed, as I've always done. The most I've engaged with like the Stranger Things fan base is these videos. Like I honestly,
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
one to like comment on things. I kind of just observe, but I've seen it all. So I want to hear from you because you haven't. We talked about this for a little bit. You haven't
Mhm.
seen like any Stranger Things, anything like
Yeah, other than the the stupid, like, AI
memes.
will gangster
Yeah,
Stranger.
this really horrid video.
But yeah, that's the extent of my I don't get any Stranger Things related stuff on any of the apps I'm on, which is really
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, that's interesting. But what I want to do is like I want to hear from you.
Mhm.
Volume 2, generally speaking, what did you think of these 3 episodes as a whole? Did you like them? Like where, do you think they complement the season? Like what do you think generally speaking?
I think let me preface this first off by saying my watch through of volume 2 was so disjointed. But
Yeah.
but I thought it was good. I mean, the whole thing was great. There are a few like tiny little things where I'm like, okay, bro, like the few certain little annoyances, but overall, it does feel a little it feels like it takes a little bit of a turn from volume 1 of the season,
Yeah.
but I mean that only makes sense. They like turned it up to 11 on the last episode of Volume 1, and then they were like,
And
all right,
yeah,
let's
like
continue that.
halfway through the season as well, like episode 4, it's like, all right,
Yeah.
like
It's like,
peak
okay, what?
hype.
First off, we'll have like siphon powers
Yeah.
or whatever. That's my kind of overarching.
So like
I
generally
liked it.
speaking, you thought it was
Generally
good. Yes.
speaking, I thought it was good. It's except, I mean, not really accept. I mean, I can accept the nitpicks
Yeah, me
because
too.
it's like, okay, it's just stupid things. It's like one specific thing that I can't really get out of my head is like, all right, they were just like, what if we made the upside down a wormhole?
Yeah, that you know what's funny? Like my reaction to that big reveal and like the shot of it, like the
Yeah.
wormhole, whatever, it was kind of like, okay.
Eh?
I was like,
You're like,
okay.
eh?
Yeah, literally. I was like, all right, like, it wasn't like a huge like, whoa, that's insane. I mean, it is
Yeah.
crazy, but like I
Because
was sort of like, okay, yeah.
yeah, it's weird because on one hand I was like, yo, that's awesome. That's so cool. Wait, it's been a wormhole this whole time. But on the other hand, I was like, it's been a wormhole this whole time. Duffer Brothers.
Right, right, yeah, yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, which is funny because in interviews, like after these episodes came out, they said like, yeah, that was
Hmm.
the one thing that we've had planned since season 1, which I think it's insane that they did not like foreshadow that in any meaningful way at all. Like if that was planned, why hold that of all things? Like hold those cards so close to your chest, like for the whole game. Like why just like do that's kind of interesting to me
Okay,
because like
it's actually coming together in my mind because I remember that one scene, and I'm pretty sure it was season one, like after Will quote unquote died, and they were talking to Mr. Clark, and he was talking about the flea or the
Flea and the
acrobat or
Acrobat,
whatever,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like, okay, I mean, I guess that's you could you could stretch that into
Yeah, and
foreshadowing
be like, "Oh,"
and be
he
like, I
says something
mean,
like, "Oh, it might even swallow us whole," or something like that.
something, I don't know. I mean, it does kind of track to like it kind of answers the what the heck was that other dimension Vecna Henry one,
Yeah.
what Mr. Was it
Yeah, yeah.
was in, like it answers that kind of question. But I don't know. I've accepted it. I think it's fine. And I think
Yeah,
when they did the whole zoom out, I was like, it wasn't as Stranger Thingsy, but I think it kind
for
of fit
sure.
as like a season 5 finale type thing. I was
Yeah,
like,
like,
okay,
end of the show.
this is kind of cool. But I feel like they could have explored this a little bit more than just giving it 1 or 2 episodes to like
Just say that
be
it's a
like
thing
it's
that exists.
there.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is what it is anyways, we'll move on." But,
But enough about the wormhole.
so yeah, generally speaking, you think that you enjoy the episodes and you think that they're good,
Hmm. Hmm.
which is nice to hear from you because like I'm like from what I've seen, the reaction to Volume 2 has been very negative to the
That's
but here's the thing for me.
interesting.
It's interesting, but here's the thing for me. When I watched I binged the 3 episodes. When I finished
Hmm.
watching and I was, like, looking online and seeing the reactions, again, I have some nitpicks as like, I have nitpicks with every season of the show, though, which
Yeah.
is, like, the thing, like, go back and if we recently did, like, a rewatch of all the seasons and did videos on them, they're super long, so like, that's something. But, if you go back in those videos, there's,
That's
like,
something.
multiple segments where I'm, like, tearing apart this and that and whatever. But like the thing that was interesting to me is that whenever I was seeing the reaction, I felt like, am I missing something? Like, why
Yeah.
are people so angry about this? Again, there are things where I'm like, yeah, I can kind of I can see where people are annoyed, but like to the point where like the 7th episode is getting like review bombed on IMDb, it's like it's kind of interesting to me
Mm.
that like people are like turning on Stranger Things a little bit. But I had a good time watching them and like they had cool moments and the only thing is that I feel like, and we can kind of get into more like specific things, but I feel like the my only issue is that I feel like we maybe could have like gotten a little bit further than we did because like there's a lot of weight that's being put on the finale right now to like answer
Mm-hmm.
things and like Like,
If the finale isn't absolute perfection, people are gonna riot.
yeah, exactly. Like if like the way that they're writing the season is as if like they have like another season coming. Like it's kind of interesting to
Mhm.
me because like there's some moments where I was like, ooh, like why did you not answer that? Because Escape from Camazotz, Holly and Max in like the cave and they see the like Henry as like a Boy Scout and there's the scientist with the briefcase and it's like what's in the briefcase,
Yeah. Oh,
like
that's another thing.
yeah,
What's in
exactly.
the
Exactly. What
briefcase?
they
Are they
didn't
gonna
show
answer
that,
that in the last episode?
I hope, but
They
probably not.
better.
Like, it's one of those things where I was like, "Oh, why did you not show us?" Like, if that matters, like, why are you pushing that all into the finale? Like, small things like that where I was like, "Come on, like, this is the final season. You got to pull out all the stops." But yeah, regardless, like, I enjoyed these episodes. I am nervous for the finale because like again there's so much weight on it and like it's literally like everything is happening in this finale. And yeah, I mean, like my general thoughts, I enjoyed the episodes, had some nitpicks, but that's how it is with every season. And I guess we can kind of get into more specific things. So episode 5, Shock Jock, kind of
I'm so
picking up with the
disappointed. So
yeah yeah
disappointed.
you lost
I
$20.
don't
Yeah.
even want to talk about
Um,
it.
gosh, I'm having such a hard time like actually picking a place to start here.
First off, Dustin's a genius. Second
Yeah.
off, there's
Absolutely.
exotic matter apparently.
Yeah, that which is okay,
Um,
wait, what was the exotic matter? I'm sorry, I watched these episodes once and a couple days ago, so like what the exotic matter was the what
the
exploded,
exotic
yes?
matter is the what's holding
Oh, what's holding it?
the upside down together
That's the
basically,
wall.
and
Yeah, that's the
it's like
wall.
a generator, and Dustin was like, "Don't shoot it," and of course Nancy, and of course
It's just like, I'm
I
gonna
you
shoot
know
it.
I saw a funny short reel TikTok whatever it was where whoever the person was like characters in Stranger Things on the radio, and it's like it's don't shoot it, it's a well it's a shield generator, and he's like, man, I just cannot tell what they're saying.
No, there were a couple times
And
where
it
it was
was
clear as day.
and literally I thought that exact same thing. I was like, how can you not tell what he's saying? It's so clear. He's trying to tell you
Yeah.
something. Why are you just gonna like
I'm pretty
continue and
sure
shoot it?
the clear dialogue on the walkie-talkie was like, "You're going to die. Don't touch it. Don't do it." And Jonathan's like, "Ah, I don't know. Maybe shoot it. Like, maybe
It's
try
like
shooting it."
shooting it was not like destroying it or whatever was not this pressing.
Don't do anything! Don't touch it!
They're out of range.
It's basically a wormhole shield generator thing keeping the wall together.
Yeah,
And
and
Nancy shot it with her gun, with her
yeah, and
shotgun or whatever.
which
So that kind of unstabled it.
unstable it, which causes like Steve's car to go through the wormhole, which
Yeah,
reveals
rest
that
in
it's a
peace.
wormhole. I okay, so I guess the first thing that we can kind of talk about, because again, there's a lot of things to talk about. First of all, yeah, Steve's car. It's kind of like like the fact that like this guy like Steve, he lost his freaking car. Like that sucks. Like first Dustin like drills an antenna onto it, and it's like, oh man, that sucks. And then it gets sucked out into like I don't even know where. Like it's not space, but like it gets sucked
Into
out into
space
like
time.
yeah, space time. Like poor Steve, man. But this kind of I guess we can kind of talk about like in episodes 5 and 6, like this sort of Hawkins lab sequence of sorts. I will say, I think that like in this, like the thing about like the upside down being a wormhole is like we mentioned this in one of the previous videos that like with it the whole thing with it melting, right? I was kind of like it's a similar thing to like the Duffer Brothers, like with Holly seeing young Henry in the memory and what's in the briefcase. It's like when the building started melting and you saw other soldiers in there and whatever, I was like, what's going on right now? I was like, what, this is melting, but then like, well, okay, it's like things where I'm like, okay, this is an
It's
entirely new
exotic matter,
thing.
bro.
Okay, yeah, it's all
It's
okay. Moving on.
have you ever heard something so crazy sounding as exotic matter?
That's cool, right?
It's not even regular matter.
Jonathan, Nancy, Steve, and Dustin go to Hawkins' lab, and it kind of becomes like Silent Hill for a little bit. And like the first thing I want to say about like this whole side of the story or these two episodes with them in the lab is that it did have a lot of my favorite stuff in the season so far. One of
I
them
agree.
being like Dustin and Steve's like butting heads kind of coming to a head. Which honestly, like that really got me, like their argument and then like them fully just fighting. I was not expecting them to like actually fight each other.
Yeah, me too, actually.
And again, like Dustin is just like going off on Steve because of what happened with Eddie. And like Steve does not hold back. He's like, hey, if Eddie was so awesome, how come he's dead? And I was like, whoa, Steve.
Whoa,
like,
Steve.
Dude, like you did. I mean, like,
this is gonna be a perfect thing to apologize for later in the episode, later in a different episode.
Like he's like partly right, but like it's also like a bridge too far, and like they end up fighting, and like, dude, whenever Dustin like Gaten Matarazzo is like crying, I'm like, oh man, I'm like I don't know why, like whenever he's sad, it gets to me. Like I feel like for some reason, like I don't see a lot of people like giving Gaten Matarazzo a lot of praise, but like I gotta say, Dustin has been probably one of the most consistent characters in the show, and I
Agreed.
like rarely the only thing that I could think of that's like a criticism of like his character, where it's like in season 3 with Mike, how it's like Mike is acting differently. The only thing I can think of for Dustin is like, why did he keep Dart in season 2? But even then, he was acting like the same character, like it wasn't just like unbelievably stupid. I mean, it kind of was, but like it wasn't like he's acting differently in a way that's like annoying me. But like I don't see Gaten Matarazzo getting a lot of praise, but like he's definitely he's probably my favorite character in the show, and like he had a really good stuff in this volume and in this season. And like I've seen a lot of people be like, oh, Dustin's getting on my nerves, but it kind of bothers me because like he's having essentially the same sort of like arc, or like his arc is happening in a similar way that it happened with Max, that like Billy died and then Max became a lot more closed off, and like she wasn't like wanting to hang around, and she wasn't really meshing with the gang as well. And like that happened with Eddie with Dustin, and so he's acting in a similar way. And like I don't know, it's kind of a bummer that people are like, oh, Dustin's acting annoying, whenever it's like it's for a reason. But
it's like, bro, put yourself in Dustin's shoes, bro, come on. But
like their scenes together in this whole lab sequence I really enjoyed them, especially like in Escape from Camazotz, whenever they like Steve, like Steve was kind of dumb for this one. Like the ladder on the stairs was so stupid. I was like, dude, there's holes upon holes upon holes that if you fall, you're dead. And he's like, no, I got it.
It was a pretty solid plan.
Well, it's a solid plan, but everything was actively melting. It's like, that was crazy. But like whenever he's like, you can't die, you can't die, not you too, and then like he hugs him, he's like, I'm sorry, like dude, like that got me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like like I don't know what else to say about it other than that it got me.
Watching it in the living room, like
yeah, just like freaking Dumber Brothers.
Don't let it happen again, please. Please don't let it happen again. Not you. I'm sorry. No.
But yeah, I really liked what they gave us with Dustin and Steve, and jumping ahead a little bit when they kind of come together again and they they kind of reconcile. I will say that moment where in the 7th episode where they're kind of gearing up for the final battle, and then Dustin's like, I forget what he says, but he says something that cuts to them getting the like spears that he and Eddie used. I was like, please be the bat, please be the baseball bat. Like I was really dude,
I was like yo, he's gonna get the bat. He's gonna get the bat. Wasn't the bat.
Like I get it, like thematically it's like, okay, like the weapons that he and Eddie use, like okay, sure, but like why haven't they brought back the baseball bat? Like I don't understand why they just ditched that. That was like Steve's weapon in the first 2 seasons. But whatever, that's besides the point. But yeah, that whole scene where they're like, oh, I miss my best friend, like really heartfelt stuff. And like I really, as a fan of the show who likes these characters, most of them, I like enjoy these moments, and I really like what they gave us with Dustin and Steve. And on the flip side of that, they also give us some moments with, or a moment with Jonathan and Nancy in the 6th episode, which I'm not even gonna lie, Jonathan and Nancy's proposal scene. I know people don't really care about Jonathan and Nancy, but that got me. I was like crying, like, oh my gosh, like Jonathan and Nancy. And like, what did you think of that whole thing?
I honestly, well, actually, actually, now that I think about it, maybe in the whole entire season, but it feels like there's, better yet, the whole show. There's always like a bunch of emotional scenes for no reason.
Yeah.
But
I felt like this one had
it's
more of a
good though.
reason.
It's good. I don't remember exactly how I felt about it as I watched it, but I was a little confused. I was like, are they like making up? What are they doing here? I'm still unclear on if they're like,
Really?
I don't know. It was a little confusing. I was like, he's like, I hate you, but like you're also kind of awesome.
I hate you, but I love you.
That's how it. Don't get me wrong. It was emotional and it was a good scene, but in terms of like logistics, I was like a little confused. But
I mean,
regardless of that, I was like, yo, this it's kind of heartfelt a little
no,
bit.
yeah, I
Actually.
was crying. Like I was rooting for Jonathan and Nancy more so than Steve and Nancy, just because like, and I'm happy that like that didn't end up like being like, okay, now go to Steve. you know.
Yeah.
Again, I know. I mean, I don't really know how a lot of feel about Jonathan and Nancy, but I know that Steve and Nancy was definitely more popular. But like, I don't know. Like, I was always rooting for Jonathan and Nancy. So like, I really loved this scene. But I like I was kind of confused because I saw that also a lot of people were like, "What did this scene mean?" And like for me, and this was confirmed by the Duffer Brothers, but like for me, I took it after watching it as like, yeah, it's a breakup because like what I like about the scene is that like it weirdly again, and I said this to you, like in the show where like Mike and 11 are like, we're gonna go off to like this place with 3 waterfalls and it's gonna, like we're gonna go and have our happily ever after, like having this scene where like these two characters are like, yes, we love each other, but this isn't working out. It was like weirdly like I think a good route for them to take the relationship, because like again, like the previous seasons have shown that like this doesn't really work for them. But like I don't know, like I like that where it's like we still love each other, but like Nancy says like she doesn't know what she wants, and like she needs to figure that out. And like I don't know, like I really liked this scene, and like it's partly because of like their performances, but also like the music. Like when they play that specific track in the show, it's always like, oh my gosh, like it gets me.
Why am I crying?
Yeah, exactly. Like it gets me every time.
I love you, Nancy Wheeler.
I love you, Jonathan Byers.
I will say whenever I loved how it started out, like them like confessing to each other. Started out with Nancy saying that she hated the Clash. Like I thought that was really funny. Like I hate the Clash. I do think it's funny though. They're saying things back and forth, and then Jonathan's like, "I took your pink sweater to Goodwill," and she's like, "What?" And he's like, "I hate pink." Like, what was that confession? Like, it was so random. I don't know. Like, I think it's really funny because it's like, why? like why?
Like backstory.
Yeah, like world building. I liked this moment, and it gave them something. Like Jonathan and Nancy always kind of get pushed to the side, and like just having this moment between them that was like an extended moment. I don't know. I liked this moment. Yeah, I just like this moment, but it does kind of bum me out because
really like this moment.
Yeah, I really like this moment. It did kind of bum me out though. The only thing about them breaking up that kind of bums me out is that like it's just like they don't give Jonathan anything in this show. So like them breaking up, even though it feels good for both of them, it's like, okay, so like Jonathan is just gonna be off to the side for the rest of the season. Like it just they don't give him anything, and I don't trust them to give him like a satisfying ending in the show. But yeah, I like the scene, but also it made me realize that like Nancy as a character probably has the most like one of the most dramatic like character arcs across each season. Like she is weirdly a very like, I feel like in terms of like the show wrapping up and looking back on the characters, it's kind of interesting that like Nancy has a pretty decently well-rounded story of like, you know, wanting to find herself and all this stuff. Like, I don't know. I think that's kind of cool that Nancy has like a pretty good character progression. I think that ends with her being like, "Hey, I don't know what I want. I need to figure that out." And it's like, okay, I think that's a interesting thing for her character.
I feel like it's funny that Nancy, of all the characters, is the one that like I would never have expected Nancy from season 1, just random like high school dating drama girl from season 1 is now like basically the boss, and she's like the one popping out of the top of a truck shooting military.
Yeah, just taking
Like,
out all these guys. Yeah.
like it's a crazy, aside from like her actual like personal character arc, it's just like her as an active member of the squad
Yeah.
fights against all the opposing forces. Like
Yeah. No
being
matter
the
what.
military, Vecna, the Mind Flayer, I guess, Demogorgons.
Nancy has a really insane like arc and character progression. I feel like she's one of the characters like thinking about it now that I think they're doing pretty well. Like there are a couple characters that I can see like having a questionable end given the fact that like, you know, 7 episodes in and it's like their only focus is like, okay, we got to kill Vecna and that's it. like
Yeah.
But Nancy, I don't know. I like what they're doing with Nancy and I really like the scene between her and Jonathan.
Jonathan! Oh my god!
The only thing that like kind of bothers me about it is that like again, it's one of those things where I was like, what happened? Like, what are we like? The fact that like everything that's melting just stops, you know, like it just hardens immediately, and I was like, what happened? Is it because she shot the thing? But no, I don't know. Like, I don't really know what was happening with the lab
You shot
melting.
the thing and it stabilized itself, and then it insta hardened because
Yeah, like,
that's how exotic matter works.
It's exotic matter. That's how it happened.
Yeah, just don't even
worry about it. It's that
skip
exotic
past
matter.
this talking point. It's
Yeah,
not gonna
that's it.
get anywhere.
Yeah, we're not getting anywhere with it. One thing that I do want to say, and that I is that a criticism that I saw with Volume 2 that I can't say I disagree with, and like I agree, and especially like in the final season, it's like, all right, you know, I feel like they could have structured this a little bit differently. Is that like there are a good amount of scenes in each episode of like, this pencil, this is us. This marker is the upside down. If we do blah, 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 we can get through the gate. And if we get through the gate, we kill Vecna. And if we kill Vecna, boom, no more upside down. Bye Vecna. You know, like there's a lot of those scenes. And like,
what was the final straw for me?
What? I'm curious to hear about this.
I was perfectly fine the whole entire season until I realized at towards the very end when Hopper started drawing with a dry erase marker or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was it. Really?
It was like, okay, I don't know what made me think about it, but I was like, okay, Hopper is telling his plan, and it's so clearly like, okay, I gotta draw this, and he draws
a helicopter.
what is
was it? Yeah.
What is the drawing doing?
I
Nothing.
don't. Well,
it's doing nothing for his plan rundown. All he
no,
had to do.
That's so
was
true. Because his whole plan was like, we get the chopper up there. That was it. Yeah,
fly it up.
Get to the
You
chopper.
didn't have to drop it. You didn't have to draw it, Hopper. I can't even speak.
It is 2 a.m. They all say that. They're like, you didn't have to draw that.
Drop it. I think what actually made me notice it is because they were all giving their plans, and then Hopper started drawing, and I was like, okay, guys,
I think that's hilarious.
They don't need to draw it.
Yeah, I think that's hilarious that's where you were like, all right.
No, because like every other time they had some kind of, this is us. This is
Yeah.
the exotic
This is the
matter.
upside
We blow
down.
up if we shoot it with a shotgun. Oh, Nancy did it already. Oh, I guess we're dying. Any other time, I was like, oh, this. Yeah, I mean, this is classic Stranger Things. They always
Yeah.
have the whatever D&D equivalent of stuff, and they're
Plan
like, oh, this is
breakdown.
the
Yeah.
plan breakdown. But when they all start, when I want to say it was like Will did something, and then Joyce did something, and then Hopper did something all in a row.
Yeah. And then they even
I
let
don't.
Steve get in
And
get in on the
and
action.
once it got to Hopper, I was like, all right, we need to stop drawing on this window or whatever the heck they're drawing on. Steve brought it back,
I
and I
did
was
like
like,
that they gave
okay,
Steve that
this I
moment.
like, because Steve was like, Steve used something other than drawing on the stupid,
Win
not a
class,
whiteboard.
yeah.
Like he did a 3D demonstration, and I was like, okay, Steve,
3D
this
demonstration.
this is classic Stranger Things.
I do get what you're saying
Like
versus just drawing out like, okay,
versus just drawing out a
we
plan.
gotta get the helicopter. Let me draw a helicopter. Yeah, I do agree
that
with you.
it was like, at first it was like Hopper does it, and I was like, oh come on, bruh. And then Steve brought it back, and I was like, okay, I'm back in it. I don't even
Yeah. I don't even
like,
care anymore.
I don't even care
But yeah,
anymore.
there are a lot of those scenes. Like in episode 5, they have the moment where both Lucas and Erica are like, "Oh, this thing, that thing," and he's like, "Oh, like a popcorn kernel and whatever." And like the thing is, I can agree with that because like it just happens so many times. But at the same time, it's like they wrote themselves into such a corner because the stakes are like what's happening is so insane that it's like, okay, how else are the characters going to figure it out? Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, how else are they supposed to make this interesting without the characters just like, other than the characters just directly saying what they're going to do? Like, I can't think of a way that they possibly could have found out all this information and put together a plan and having it be executed in any other way that they did, it's such a tricky thing to do because it's like they have to figure out how to save 12 kids and get through the dimensions, and it's like, okay, there's going to be a lot of like, here's our plan. I will say the one moment that I feel like this thing, that thing, this other thing, what if this means this? The one moment that I feel like could have been cut out because it just like it kind of bothered me was the moment in episode 6 where Robin like perfectly nails down the whole like Max and Camazotz and Holly and like her whole thing where she just like perfectly nails down what they're doing, like it's one of those moments where I was like, really, they didn't need to like piece this together. Like they didn't need Lucas, Mike, and Robin, who are in the scene, didn't really need to know this at this point in time, but I feel like it was probably just to save time, to save for explanation later, where it's like, where were you? I was here. It's like, oh, I already kind of knew, but like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, you just end up with another scene that feels kind of samey, and it's just like, what if this and that, and this is Will, and he's here, and what,
For me, it's perfectly fine every time they do it, until I think the actual thing that made me notice it was the fact that they did
the drawing.
They did like 3 in a row, and why was Hopper drawing?
He's like,
like his
give me the
plan was
marker.
like, let's fly in a helicopter.
Another thing that I think we should talk about is the Max and Holly side of things with Escape from Camazotz. I didn't think it was interesting because like this isn't a whole point of conversation, but it does kind of annoys me a little bit that like Holly Wheeler of all characters is like getting more screen time than like the characters from season 1. Like she probably has more collective screen time than Joyce this season.
Wait, you're so right.
And it's kind of like the fact that they made Holly Wheeler this big crux of season 5, when like it's kind of like I am enjoying the story, but like every now and then while watching it, it'll hit me where I'm like, this, like, we're just supposed to like care about like this nothing character all of a sudden, but that's kind of whatever. But with her and Max's escaping from Camazot's plot, they're going through memories and trying to find the one of whenever, in Holly's case, whenever she was taken, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure that's where they got to go. They start there,
yeah.
and then Will does
But
his run thing, and then they go into Henry's memories. That's where it goes. Yeah. Which, by the way, you were goofing on the run scene, but that scene was pretty cool. You can't
okay,
lie.
the way they cut it in the trailer was the goofiest thing I've ever seen. The way it was cut in the actual episode made perfect sense, and I was like,
Yeah, and it was
okay,
awesome.
okay, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine with this.
Yeah.
I will say Vecna yelling run does also look a little goofy.
It was really goofy.
Whatever.
But I thought it was cool. Again,
Yeah.
Will taking over Vecna and like snapping his leg again. I'm surprised he didn't just kill him right then, but I guess, whatever.
He just he just didn't think to
He didn't think of
try
it.
that. He was like, "Oh, well, I'll just
Yeah,
break his leg."
let's just make it more annoying for him to get around. But yeah, really cool scene. But then this leads to Max and Holly kind of having to reevaluate, which leads them into going through Henry's memories, which kind of leads into more like they have this whole thing with the eyeglass and the whatever, and eventually they find their way out. And the one thing that I like, this is the one thing in in volume 2 that like I need to rewatch it, but like the scene where where they get to Max's like portal and Max is like later was like the fact that like Max is like 30 feet away from her way out of her coma, and they had like a literal 5-minute conversation where like Max is like, "You're Holly the heroic, blah blah blah. I'm not brave. Yes, you are." That scene was kind of too much for me. I was like, why are we having a 5-minute extended monologue? Again,
Why
that
did
was
we
one of the
not go through this on the way? Why did this
Yeah.
have to be right here?
Yeah, first of all, I feel like it would have been a better moment if Max like ran the plan by Holly and was like, "Listen, when
Yeah,
we
when
find
we
this
get
thing,
there,
you're not going to
you're
have a
gonna
way
find
out."
your own portal.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
feel like
find mine, and we're gonna.
I'm gonna wake up. I don't know where you are. I feel like what would have like made a moment like this work a little bit better is if like say in the cave where like Holly is like scared of what's happening. If like Max is like, we got to get going. We got to find our way out of here. If Holly was like, no, I can't do it, and then Max gave her this talk like in the cave or something, which leads to Holly being like, yeah, I got to be Holly the heroic and help you get out of here. Like I feel like that would have like given the moment, it would have like been a little bit better placed, because like it's a literal 5-minute scene when Max is like 30 feet away from getting it. Like I was
Oh
like,
my
what
gosh.
are we doing? I was like, why isn't she running? Like I
The
couldn't
music's
believe
gonna
it.
stop again. Let me just say, Lucas the goat.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Lucas the goat for keeping the music
Yeah,
playing even
yeah.
when they were literally about to die.
I
Also,
yeah.
Mrs. Wheeler, are we
Yeah.
serious?
We can get into this, but the Holly and Max like conversation like at the end of episode 6 was like, I was like, I couldn't believe that they chose to put that scene right there, because it just seemed like, again, like, let's get moving. Like, why are you doing this right now? Like, it was good character stuff, but like the placement of it, when again Max, it was established that she was like right in front of the portal, and even when she ran towards it, she still didn't make it. I was like,
Yeah,
why is she even like wasting time? But I did
she
think it
did
was
not learn from last
yeah.
time.
I was fully expecting, like, with them having this whole conversation, I thought that it was all gonna build to like Vecna showing up and being like, "Nope, I got you." But like, I'm really glad that they actually gave us like Max waking up after that. It just would have been so cheap to like be like, "Oh no, they talked for too long." Anyways, on the flip side of that, with Lucas in the hospital, first of all, Lucas kicking the Demodog was like, I did not think that
Okay.
was gonna be where that scene led to. I thought that it was just the door was gonna close. He kicked
The
a Demodog.
plot, okay, the plot armor is
Yeah,
actually
it's
crazy,
insane.
but I don't even care.
No, Lucas
I
kicking a
don't even
Demodog, like,
care.
I'll let him have it. I'm like,
Like
whatever.
I mean, Makes perfect sense to me.
But as you mentioned with the music, I did love that moment where Robin's like, turn it off. And he's like, no, I'm not turning it off. Like,
Yeah.
I'm keeping this on. Like, that was,
Like,
I love
my
that
guy.
moment. And, you know, this leads to Max waking up in the next episode, which was a very, very cool reunion. Again, one of my favorite scenes. Like, these are the scenes. these are the scenes. Like, I don't know. Like, their reunion scene was really nice. I really love that moment.
I just needed you. Just you.
I did think it was interesting Eleven's reunion with Max. She's just like, you're here. Like there's something about Millie Bobby Brown like reacting to people who have like died. Like her reunion with Hopper felt kind of weird in season 4, and her reunion here is slightly better, but she's just like, you're really here. You know, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't a bad moment by any means.
No
but
offense, Millie Bobby Brown, but I feel like I liked her acting and character and whatever better the earlier on it was. Like season
no,
1,
for sure.
good, season 2, good, season 3, good. And it kind of just like slowly just fell off a little bit. And now it's like
like it to me it isn't even bad, but to me it kind of gives
It's
gives
not
the vibe of
bad.
like it has the
just-
vibe of like an actress who's like done with the show, you
Yeah,
know, like that's
yeah.
what it kind of feels like to me. Yeah, I agree, but like her reunion with Max, like it's nice, but again, like she was devastated by what happened in season 4, and like I was expecting some sort of like tearful reunion, but she's just like, you're here.
Max. You're here. You're really here.
Again, dude, I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, Duffer Brothers, do this right. Do this right. Whenever Hopper goes, like, what does he say? He's like, welcome home, kid. I was so hoping she'd be like, you're alive. like they didn't have any, like,
Wait!
if she had said you're alive, like I would have actually like it would have been peak. like you're alive, but no, she just like was like,
Wait.
okay.
I mean, did she even know him really though?
No, but like but that's the thing also with Max getting out of her coma. Like she wasn't close with Hopper by any means. Like she had like an interaction with him, but like similarly to that, to where it's like, sure, like I guess like whatever, but like there's a moment in the 7th episode where like she and Will interact, and it's like their first one-on-one interaction, and I was like, whoa, they feel like like this feels kind of like we missed some development here. Like they're not, were they friends?
Did they ever even talk to each other?
No, I don't think they ever said one word to each other. Not that it's a bad thing. Again, it's like, oh cool, like he said, he didn't even have a conversation, like he said something to Max.
Yeah.
I did think that was interesting, but regardless, I do really like this. You know, Max waking up and being out of her coma. I think, I don't know, I really like that whole moment. Another character that they bring in sort of in the final chapter that was surprising, but I'm kind of for it, is Mr. Clark. They kind of wrap Mr. Clark into this, which is kind of fun to see. I really loved how like he's literally in bed with the librarian. Erica shows up at 5 in the morning, and then she's like, it's Dustin. He's like, Dustin? Like I was like, that's right. That's right. Yeah, really cool to see Mr. Clark in it and on this. My only complaint with this is that like there was a couple of moments in the 7th episode where like specifically towards the end, like we were talking about, when everybody's like enacting their plan and or trying to map out the plan, where like it would cut from whoever's talking to like a wide shot, and there's like 17 people in the room. And it's like, I was like, this is insane. Like there's so many people in this room, and half of them are like just like have been thrown into this mission like within the past day, and it's just so crazy.
We need a comparison. Main characters in season 1, and it's literally just the 4 boys at the candy table.
Yeah.
Main characters in season 5, the 20 plus characters all in the the rundown scene or whatever.
Yeah, it's funny
Their
because
plan.
like I said, there's a couple shots where like Dustin's talking and then it cut to everybody else, and I actually would like start laughing because everybody's just standing there watching.
This flashlight is the squawk radio tower, and this slinky is the bridge. We'll never reach the abyss from the tower, right?
Another thing that this volume kind of expands upon is that 11 and Kali. I was kind of expecting that, like, when this happened, when what happened, I wasn't surprised by it because, like, Kali's like, first of all, they just straight up killed her friends, which we like,
Yeah, straight up.
we like
Which
had
makes
anticipated.
kind of perfect sense.
They established that Dr. K, the one thing I didn't like with this whole reveal is that like they straight up say that like Dr. K is like a replacement for Brenner, and it just kind of made it feel like kind of like a lazy, like, okay, so she literally is just Brenner 2.0, like that's her whole role. Is
Yeah.
like, well, we had to have a government villain here, but they reveal that like they are using Kali and they are wanting to get 11 so that they can use her blood to, for blood transfusions to make more numbers. And again, when it happened, I was like, oh, okay, that like, that kind of, I guess that makes sense for why they are so insanely trying to hunt 11 down. But Kali also, it makes, yeah.
I was gonna say it makes sense to have it, but I feel like the whole they're trying to make more numbers, like experiment side is kind of not really needed. Like they could have cut it all the way out and it wouldn't have changed much, because if they were planning on making another season, having that as
the setup, I guess,
part of it would make sense. But just throwing that in there just because you don't really need it. I mean, it adds to the story,
stakes, I guess. Yeah.
And stakes, yeah.
I don't know. Just the fact that like that the characters are gonna win and everything. It just kind of felt like, all right, she's trying to make new numbers. She's trying to restart Papa's plan or whatever. And like I don't know. But this kind of leads to an interesting point where she says, like, hey, we're gonna be hunted for like the rest of our lives. Like if they find you, they're gonna kill Mike, and you're just gonna be right back where we started from. The only way that this can end is if we die along with like Vecna and the Upside Down and whatever. That's both interesting because it's like it's true, like 11 will just be hunted forever, but also it's like it's an interesting way to like implement the possibility of 11 dying, because she's literally just like, okay, what if we just died? Still, I don't feel like they're gonna go through with killing 11, because just
I can't see that happening.
I don't see it happening. I feel like if anything, they'll do another fake out death. I don't see them killing her, but the volume, the episode 7 ends with like her and Kali kind of looking at each other and nodding and being like, yep, we're gonna do it, which is really interesting to me. But I do also like how Hopper is just like, he hates Kali, and it makes sense. But he's just like, if she moves, I'm gonna kill her. Like that. I don't know. I thought that was funny.
What do we think is Vecna's master plan?
Well,
like actual
he explained it. That's okay.
They want to
talk about
merge
that.
the two, whatever.
That's it. Like that's literally it. It's just like, I want to merge the worlds. That's
Is that I this is what I'm gonna say earlier. What if Vecna is literally just, he's not even the actual main like legit villain, it's like the Mind Flayer or something, and the Mind Flayer is using him to do all this, and that's why his plan, I don't know, his plan doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
I could see that, but it's like, that would be so, I don't know. They really didn't explain the Mind Flayer though.
Whatsoever. Like I expected some like we got like lore drops in volume 2, but like nowhere near what I was kind of expecting. And like the one thing I'll say is that season 4, they kind of season 4 kind of gave us a lot of information in the final episode alone, with it explaining that Vecna found the Mind Flayer and whatever. So like, they're probably going to do the same thing. But yeah, maybe he's controlled by the mind flayer, but regardless, like his plan is to use like the minds of the 12 children to like help merge the worlds and create this bridge and everything, kind of basically what I predicted. And we kind of leave off with the volume with them looking up and enacting the plan because it's time.
It's time for the
and
50 bajillionth time.
Yeah, it's finally time for real. Anyway, so kind of ending episode 7, we have a pivotal scene for Will. How do you feel about Will's coming out scene? Because this is another point of conversation right now.
I think it was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. I think
Funny,
it was kind of
funny good, funny bad.
funny,
mixed bag.
It wasn't bad per se, but it was kind of drawn out and
super.
It was like, I feel like it would have had a lot more emotional weight if it was just him and his mom.
Yeah,
or just
absolutely.
Him his mom and Mike.
Yeah,
would
because
have
like
been better.
because
him and his mom, probably the best.
yeah,
Him and his mom and Mike, I could see that.
Yeah.
Everybody, come on.
Okay.
Now and he just started a yap session.
I
for
saw that
10 minutes. It was like 10 minutes where he was just like, we all like the same things.
I saw a comment where somebody said like he started it like he was about to like out himself as the Zodiac killer or something, and it's so true.
He's like, I'm just like you, except and but it took so long, and while it does feel like it's like, okay, if this was actually real, he'd be like kind of apprehensive about like, I don't know, actually saying what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
But it's like, come on, bro. He's like, blah, 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 blah,
yeah, like he goes on and on about this. Here's the thing: is
like if I was Hopper or something, I'd be like, all right,
what do you want to say?
We have a plan to get done.
You know what's funny though?
Can we hurry this up a little bit?
At this point in the episode, Hopper is in the tunnels on his way to the Mac Z. So like Hopper's probably like in the Radio Shack tunnel, like where are they? like what is happening?
What are we doing?
But I think it's
everybody just like,
where is everybody? I think it's funny though because like it's literally when they're all like loading up to go on the truck to enact the final mission, and it's like I gotta tell everybody something.
And he's like, but hold on, let me get a little yap session.
But like I think that it obviously is really good for his character, it's like, but the thing is like they didn't he did this because Vecna like uses secrets and what people fear against them, and like, but which also makes me question like, what was Vecna's plan just gonna be like? He's about to die and it's like Will's gay and then everybody is gonna like what was I'm kind of curious on that. But also the thing about this is that I totally agree. I feel like this should have been a moment between him and Joyce, and like him and Joyce and Mike Max, like, or not the character tops, like him, Joyce, Mike tops, because what happens is like he's about to tell Joyce and then Mike walks in. And it's like that would have been like okay, he tells the two of them, because like if this moment was more like personal and connected with a small amount of characters versus again where it cuts and there's like 10 other people on screen, it's like I feel like it would have just hit a lot harder, because like what he's saying is, I don't know, like I think they both handled it well and not. Because like with the way it's written, it's like, I'm just like you, except I don't like girls. It's like, okay, like I could, especially given the time period, it's like I could the way that he talked about it, it's like, okay, like I was both like into the scene and kind of like, why is he telling this in front of like everybody? Like I'm looking at this wide shot of like everybody here, like Mike, Lucas, Dustin, Robin, Steve, Jonathan, Nancy, Murray, Vicky, Max 11. Like there's so many people here.
It's like, okay, does Vicky even know who Will is?
No, like Vicky did not need to be here. Murray didn't need to be here. Steve honestly didn't need to be here. Even though like Robin had the conversation with him, was like, who'd you tell? Oh, I told Steve. Like I feel like it should have been like, I don't dislike the scene, but it is just kind of like, it feels like weirdly, it's the placement of it and also just the fact that like everybody's here. Like it's both good and bad in a way, or not bad. It's both good and kind of weird, but also if it was just a thing between him, Joyce and Mike, they could have even done a thing where like later on, maybe in the finale, like Jonathan and Joyce kind of talk about it and Joyce kind of hints at it, and then Jonathan's like, I know. Because like in season 4, it was implied that Jonathan knew, you know?
Yeah.
So like I don't know.
What it feels like is it feels like the Duffer Brothers were like, we need everybody to know this information, but we're gonna
Yeah.
procrastinate Will telling everybody, and then it's the 7th episode. Oh shoot, we need to have
Yeah. It kind of
this-
feels like that, where it's like, oh, we didn't do that.
Oh,
It's
we
like,
didn't
oh,
do that.
shoot.
Oh shoot. And then they were like, all right, just have Will like bring everybody in and just tell them all together, which is funny. Once he stopped yapping and it wasn't like 5 minutes of him just like
building it up,
procrastinating, building it up.
Which I guess
Then I
that's
was like, okay,
intentional
this is
because
kind of
it's
a
supposed to be like him getting this weight off his chest, like he's
Yeah.
but yeah, as you're saying.
When I was watching it, I was like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. I mean, it makes sense that he'd be like, da, 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 da. But when he started like going on the Robin like spiel, feeling like how they wrote Robin in the more recent
Oh,
like,
yeah, like the rambling,
the rambling,
the
like
rambling
he
of it
started
all, yeah.
rambling, da, 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 da.
Yeah, but like the
But
moment where everybody like
it was a heartfelt moment.
yeah,
It was
it was
nice.
a really heartfelt scene. Yeah, I agree. People are really making fun of it, and like it's so easy to make fun of, and it is kind of funny. But like, I don't want to downplay it because like it is a heartfelt scene. I'm just like I have it. I'm kind of like skipping through it now, and like when he is like just breaks down, and then Joyce is like, that will never happen. It just makes me think like if this scene was just between him and Joyce, I feel like it would have hit 10 times harder,
Oh, for
like
sure.
like I don't know. Again, not the scene isn't necessarily bad. It's just kind of an odd. It's the strangest thing. Is the way that this is the strangest thing. Overall, like I do like the scene. It's just it was just an interesting choice the way it was executed. Again, because like the characters that react to it, it's like, okay, yeah, but then there's like 5 characters who don't say a word. And it's like, it's like they didn't need to be here.
I mean, what can they really do?
Yeah, it's like,
honestly?
what, we gotta wait
Like-
outside. I will say I feel like this scene, along with just the general reception to volume 2, I feel like the hate is very like overblown,
I'm always pretty lax about like hating shows. I enjoy most of what I watch, I think.
Yeah.
But no, I don't get it. I don't get. I mean, I haven't seen hate for this season, but
I've
I haven't
seen a
seen
ton.
anything for this season really.
Yeah, anyways, so like, this episode kind of ends with, the characters enacting their plan and going into the upside down, and that's where we leave off. Yeah, that's volume 2 of Stranger Things. The thing that's kind of concerning me about the finale is that by the time we watch the first 7 episodes of season 4, we literally perfectly pieced together the finale. I have no idea what they're gonna do in this finale, like whatsoever. Like to the point where like even with the trailer, which by the way, if anybody's watching this far into the video, again, we have some traveling that's going on. So if they release a trailer in these like 2 days, we might not get a theory video out about it just because it's like so close. Maybe, but like it'd be kind of pushing it. But even with the trailer, I like genuinely have like a couple of epilogue ideas, but other than like we kill Vecna, like I don't really know where they're gonna take it in this finale.
It feels so far from the end right now. It's
Yeah.
like it feels like there should be at least like 3 episodes in between this and that, like the last episode.
Yeah, especially because like they're gonna have to climb the radio tower to get from into the sky, like, which by the way,
Yeah,
that is a really cool inclusion, or I guess inclusion of like, having that setting, them climbing the radio tower to get into
Yeah.
the different dimension. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it just feels like there's so many unanswered questions, and how are they gonna tie every loose end up in 2 hours and
Yeah,
also
2 hours
like
and some
win?
change.
You
When
know?
tie up loose ends and then have, like, the "this is the ending of the show" moments, you know?
Yeah.
My only, because they're obviously gonna win, my only guess is, like, in the epilogue, it's just gonna be, like, the characters going their separate ways. Okay, what I wanna see in the epilogue is, like, more than, like, probably most people, they gotta have Dustin and Susie have an in-person scene. Like, they got like, come on, we gotta see Dustin and Susie on screen together. They've never
Wait.
shared the screen.
Susie hasn't been in this season a single time, has she?
No, not at all.
No.
Upsettingly. But yeah, I really have no idea. Like, I've never been less like, I know what's gonna happen with this show than I have, like, in going into this final episode, which kind of concerns me. Like, is that a good thing or a bad thing that we have that, like, that I can't come up with anything for how this final episode's gonna go?
I think it has its positives and negatives. Like on one hand, it's like okay, they kept it. They're keeping us on our toes. On the other hand, it's like okay, this is kind of concerning.
Yeah,
How
like, how are they
like
gonna handle this?
impossibly huge this task seems. But
Yeah.
maybe it's simple. Maybe they just kill Vecna and explode the exotic matter ball thingy,
Yeah.
and just that's it.
But
I guess.
also, yeah, like, they're gonna explode it and kill the Upside Down and everything forever, which, like, I'm kinda surprised that, like, doing that wouldn't do some damage to the right side up, you know? It's like,
Yeah,
just blowing it up, how would that not do any damage to the right side up? I guess not.
maybe it will.
Maybe it will, who
Just
knows?
have to wait and see.
The one thing, okay, I'm making one prediction.
Okay.
I sincerely hope that they use Heroes by David Bowie, like the original version, in the finale, in the epilogue or something, because they used, like, the Peter Gabriel cover in emotional moments in the show. And if they use the original, more triumphant sounding one, I think it would fit perfectly. I mean, it depends on what kind of ending they're gonna go for, but, like, I think that it would fit really well for, like, for the triumphant ending that we know that they're gonna have. Which, like, I've been thinking about that recently because I have no idea, but, like, just thinking about, like, what the final shot of Stranger Things is going to be, like, and I'm just curious for what kinda ending they're gonna go for. Like, are they gonna go for, like, flash forward and it's, like, characters doing whatever, and let's say it's, like, Will or Joyce or something, and it's, like, they're doing whatever, and then the light starts flickering, and it's like, "Oh my gosh," and then they walk over and, like, screw in the light bulb tighter, and then it stops flickering, and it's like, "Ah, they're safe now." Like, are they gonna do, like, that kinda ending? Like, I have no idea what the ending of
I
Stranger Things
feel
is gonna
like
be.
my prediction is it's not gonna be like a funny haha oh there's no more craziness. It's gonna be like played straight all the way, super serious, just like we did it, guys.
Last shot is, like, a leaving Hawkins sign or something. It's like, "Oh, goodbye."
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically volume 2. If it wasn't almost 4 in the morning right now, we'd talk theories, but,
Oh boy.
yeah, that's that. Overall, again, had some issues, but I enjoy these episodes and think that the hate is that I've seen is kinda overblown. But then again, I don't know if I'm just getting, like, full force of, like, a small minority that's freaking out, you know?
Yeah. Me personally, I liked it. I have absolutely no idea what's gonna happen in this last episode. So
Me neither.
I'm ready
Other
to
than the
watch
fact
it.
that no one will die. That's
Yeah. For
literally
some
my
reason, I don't think I could see maybe one death
maybe
of
one, and it'll
like a
probably be like
non
Kali. That's
yeah, like
probably all it's gonna
Kali or
be.
something. And Vecna.
And Vecna, yeah. I'm nervous but excited for the finale, and yeah, that's pretty much that.